Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and I am here with some patch notes for you. Shout out to Hush for mentioning at High Guardian on this post so that we got notified of it. I do love when they do that, and in fact I just complained about them not doing it only a day or two ago. So that's an awesome thing to see. There's going to be maintenance on January 10th, 2023, and then we're going to get some new features like the Bloodcraft Union, which is where we'll be able to claim our reward with our 400 Bloodcraft shards that basically nobody got. I certainly didn't. In order to get them, you had to essentially be in the best guild, very highly coordinated, competing in the guild conquest, and also probably had to spend money. I did hear of some people who got first in everything the entire time and still did not get enough shards. So that's kind of doo-doo, but that's why I haven't covered it much, because the whole process has been kind of doo-doo. The game mode was doo-doo, and I wasn't about that life, so it is what it is. Now there's a section here that people seem to be worried about, from what I've seen in the comment sections of various places. You can link your Bloodcraft legend with an existing champion, after which the level, star rating, and rarity of the hybrid champion will be the same as the linked champion. The skill level up of Bloodcraft legends require a new type of items, and there will be a new set of equipment for them too. All of these will be available at the store in the Conqueror's Exchange. The Bloodcraft legend cannot be in the same team as their bonded champion. So I think the main concern people had is they're like, well, are they going to be able to have the Daevala and also the Daevala Hybrid, and then it's going to get all of the stuff? People were also assuming Vigor. It doesn't say Vigor here. Doesn't sound like that's a problem. It sounds like you either get to use one or the other. The only place that it's a real benefit is in Valley of Conquerors, which I guess it should be a benefit in, because you had to work really hard in a Valley of Conquerors situation to be able to do that. I know they say Guild Conquest isn't Valley of Conquerors, but that is incorrect. It very clearly is a different form of Valley of Conquerors. So, you know, that all checks out to me. The thing I don't like about what I'm reading here is that the skill level up and equipment for this character requires new items that are bought from the Conqueror's Exchange. I'm sure one of the ways that you can buy those is just for diamonds and money, and it's probably just another way to earn more money. It's probably going to be expensive as all get out to get the stuff that you actually need to make your character usable, but we'll see. That might not be a fair assessment on my part, but that's just, you know, that's what I expect to happen. More adjustments for Guild Conquest. There's going to be a new ranking system added in the second season, and the guild's ranking will be determined by its points. The world map will be displayed in 3D instead of 2D, and the guild that achieved first place in the first season will be shown on the map. That's pretty cool. I like that. A bug has been fixed where the battle wouldn't start when the squad encountered an enemy using a March acceleration card. So that's interesting. I wonder how much of an effect that had. Again, the March acceleration cards are essentially just a pay-to-win thing. It's part of the reason I don't like the game mode and I'm not interested in it at all. I don't like pay-to-win stuff. This game's pretty heavily pay-to-win, at least in terms of acquiring champions. And then when they add stuff like this where it's a direct combat advantage for a time-gated event, don't like it. The overview of the map and marching preview will also be displayed in 3D. Your previous round's merit will be shown on the sign-up page, and if your merit score is 0 for 2 consecutive rounds, meaning you didn't play or help your team, then you're going to be put on the reserve list and you can get your butt out of the battle. I think that's a nice change. Big fan of that. If people aren't going to help, they should be gone. When I decided I wasn't going to help, I took myself out of the roster. The central area's unlocking time has been shifted to 12 hours earlier. The amount of usable March acceleration cards in one March has been increased from 2 to 5, another way for them to make more money off of selling pay-to-win stuff. Buildings' point yields have been adjusted, and the epic and legendary tomes of heritage in-store prices in the second season have been adjusted, but they don't say the numbers that have been adjusted and what they've been adjusted to, and I really hate that about patch notes. The whole point is for me to get the exact information. Gosh darn it, just put a number there. How hard is that? Or even increased or reduced. That doesn't tell me anything about what happened there. Don't love that. Guardian Stone, the new Bloodcraft legend status has been added. Not exactly sure what that means. Maybe it's another row that's separate, like an entire new class as Bloodcraft Legends. Could be. If it is, I think that's dumb, and they should have just been whatever class they are, because it's just another thing that you gotta waste resources on that you don't have. More model optimizations for the male Aeson, male Karguk, and female Karguk. I guess my comment on the male Karguk's baguette for a weapon is no longer going to be valid. But you know what? They did a good job with the other updates, so maybe that's where some of where they're investing their money into in the game. They've been making quite a bit of money, and it seems like they're reinvesting it into hiring more personnel, more artists, getting things more polished. And I do have it directly from a Goat Games employee that they have completely shifted their entire plan because of our issues that we're having with the game. They're slowing down the release of champions, which you may have already noticed. They're going to take more time making sure all of the quality assurance is done, and they're going to address the issues that we care about as a priority. So that's what I've started to see them do. So to hear them say it to me that that's their plan after I've already noticed it in place gives me some confidence. Hopefully they keep up the good work on that end. Expeditions have raised the rewards received after battles. I think that's really cool. It's really hard for me to want to do my expeditions, even though I know it's great for my account. It's really hard for me to actually come back and click it every 10 minutes. Great change there. For bug fixes, there's a bug where the Hyrule with a demon clan's inherent trait would not show the visual change of their hybrid. Now they will show as a hybrid, as they should. And now this, they say this is a bug fix, but this doesn't sound like a bug fix to me. This sounds like a buff to taunts, and I think this is going to be a really big shift in the game, actually, making characters who can taunt extremely better. They say optimize the taunted status, and they have it in bug fixes. Tell me if this sounds like a bug. When taunted, the champion can now only deal normal attacks to the one who taunts. Skills will not be usable. When you are under the taunt effect, you cannot use skills. You can only use basic attacks. Male Orost, Male Karguk, all of those things that do taunts are gonna be much better now. That's huge. Fixed a bug where players could not close the new banquet invitations if they had joined the maximum number of banquets for that day, so that'll be good. For Guild Conquest, there was a bug where some players couldn't gain points on the season's individual kill leaderboard, even though they had joined the Guild Conquest. I feel like I've seen this and read this bug fix in a patch notes more than one time before, so hopefully it's actually right now. Fixed a rare issue where some players couldn't join a rally and instead found their screen frozen on marching preview. Fixed a bug where might would drop when the player leveled up their champions after exiting their guild. Fixed a bug where the battle would not end even when one of the opposing teams was wiped out or time ran out. Fixed a bug where the player could use March Acceleration card more than 2 times when they weren't supposed to. All good changes, all reasons I was not enjoying Guild Conquest in the first place, or I should say most of them were reasons. I didn't experience all of those bugs. Champion changes. This is the part I'm kind of excited for here. The taunt change I'm really excited for. These champion changes should be cool too. The description of female Ignis champion's active skill did not correspond to what happened in battles. The actual stun time was too long and has now been adjusted. I don't believe you. I'm sorry, I don't believe them. I think they're trying to actually nerf the game in ways without calling it nerfing champions. Maybe the stun was lasting longer than it should have and they're reducing it to be what it was supposed to be. Maybe they're going to change some wording and also change the skill. Unfortunately, I just can't trust everything they say. They've got some confidence to build back for me, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, you know? Fixed a bug where the Hyrule's inherent trait didn't offer the same damage reduction as stated in the description. That'll be a good thing. They're not telling us if they needed to increase what was actually happening or reduce it, so who knows if they're going to be better or worse. Fixed a bug where the Griffin's inherent trait Cunning didn't last long enough. Now, that said 3 seconds, I seem to recall, before the buff. I should just go check it. I ain't gonna do it, I'm lazy. If they made it so that says 5 or 10 seconds, then that trait might actually be really good and it might be usable, but 3 seconds is not good. Fixed a bug where the male Aesin's ultimate skill, reducing the target's damage dealt, didn't take effect. My dudes, male Aesin is already one of the best characters in the game, highly underrated by most people, it seems like. And now that that's actually going to work the way it's supposed to work, he is going to be even better. If you do not have the event champions available to you and you're wondering who you should be working on, and you just got some spare time or whatever, man, level up your Aesins, get yourself a mythic one, make him a strong boy, make him a big, strong boy. Male Aesin is awesome. Fixed a bug where the female luxuriant's passive skill description was ambiguous about what the target would be. My friends, in my very last video, which will be linked at the end of this video, I complained about that. And now 2 days later, actually it was like 24 hours later, when this was posted. It's getting fixed. I love it. Goat Games. You get a thumbs up for that. You're my favorite. Hopefully they're saying it's good and the whole team gets the benefit. Your whole team gets the benefit of that passive. Otherwise, it's not a good passive. Fixed a bug where the damage dealt to multiple targets was ambiguous in the ultimate skill description of female Daevala and male Hyrule. Now, I don't know. That could sound like another shadow nerf, couldn't it? Because they could change that to say that it does reduce damage to multiple people, and then all of a sudden your female Daevala is not as strong anymore. But they're saying here is that they're changing the description, okay? They're calling it a bug for some reason. I don't know why, because you're changing words that you typed. That ain't a bug. But my guess is they could easily be changing that so that it just does reduce damage to multiple targets. Who knows? Remains to be seen. Fixed a bug where the special effect didn't disappear in the case of female Daevala being controlled when using her ultimate skill. So I guess that's confirmation that these control effects all should have been working the whole time, and maybe they weren't, or maybe it just visually looked like they weren't, because sometimes when she was in her ultimate, it didn't look like she was getting hit by any of that stuff. For instance, maybe the AoE fear from male Lycanus. Fixed a bug where the Daevala's inherent trait would produce a blood pit that lasted for a time different from what is in its description. Now, I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that. I don't really recall their trait creating a blood pit. I feel like that's the ultimate moves. We'll see. Whole lot of these are just we'll see, you know? And finally, they fixed a bug where the female Orost's passive skill couldn't produce the stunned effect after the shield broke, and fixed a text error where the skill description of female Gultung lacked a part. So all good stuff there. We've been waiting for them to change these wordings for a long time. Didn't say anything about changing the wording of the male Aesin's ultimate. Not sure if that has been figured out yet. And if they haven't fixed that yet, honestly, I haven't read it for a while. I would guess it's because they haven't decided if they want to use that as an opportunity to say that the move is working wrong and make it match the description, in which case he won't be good anymore, or if they want to change the description to match what's happening. Obviously, I'm hoping for the second one, but it honestly could be either. So this has been a very long patch notes, and unfortunately the entire first 60% of it was about stuff that nobody gets to use anyway, really. So if you made it to the end of this video, then you are awesome, and I appreciate you a whole lot. And if you like to get these patch notes updates read out to you and hearing my opinions about them, well then you better subscribe, because otherwise you might miss them. And if you're already subscribed, then you have a nice face. And thank you for watching. I have been RagePanda1, and I will see you in the next one.